Okay, so the objective of this exercise, as we have discussed, we have an XML file, and we need to open this file to read it, okay, and then parse the file to extract two information. So the first information, how many students are registered in this text file, and you can see this is an XML file that contains several records of students. So here we have, this is the first student, this is the second one, the third one, okay, and the fourth one here. So as we said, the first thing that we need to do to count how many students are available here. And we said, okay, there are different ways, but I can observe that I can use a counter to count how much there are student tags like this. So we call this a tag. Whenever we find a line that contains student tag like this, so we consider that we have a new student. Okay, so let's do it. We open NetBeans. Close all. I'm going to call it XML parser. Okay, so we have here public static void main string args. The first thing that we need to do, we're going to read from the file. So for this, we're going to use a scanner. Okay, so I'm going just to copy what we've done last time. So this is that's file. So what's the name of the file? Dot. But where did I put the file? So now if I want to read the file, okay. So what is XML parsing? Here, yeah. Check the file name, it is not found. Because I put into the file directory. Okay, so yeah, you have to pay attention here. So here I have to do file / student. So I'm in the right position. You can see now I'm able to show again the content of the file. So now I'm able to read. This is the first step. Now the second step, let's make the count how many students there are in this database, or in this XML file. It's very simple. So let's make a counter here. Students count equals 0 in the beginning. So I don't need to read the line, at least for now. So how to count the number of students? What's the condition? Okay, look now. File.next line is going to take the line as it is, but the line, it contains some spaces, and we want to get rid of these spaces. So what we can do? Trim. So here I can just, because this is a string, I can make a dot, and I can make trim. So let's see the output now of the line. So there are no spaces. Okay, this is the first step, is to filter out all the spaces that we don't need. Now every line we're going to write a tag and a value. Okay, let's say this is a tag, and this is the value of the tag. We would like to read the value, okay? But at the first step, let's count the number of students. So what is the condition here? If what? If line dot contains, yes, student tag. Okay, pay attention. If you do student, maybe students with S is going to be counted. So you have to put it with the tag like this. So what to do? Student count plus plus. So after reading the whole file, we can print this out. The number of students is okay plus students count. Let's try it now. ممتاز. Okay, let's see if I add another student here. And I execute again. واضح? You see, it's simple. Why it's simple? Because every time you have anything to solve, you need to find first a solution in your mind. تبداش مباشرة بالكود. Okay? First of all, try to understand. Okay, now it's not related even to programming. Now, if someone tell you, find me a way to count the number of students. Okay, you tell him, count how many tags there are here. صح ولا لا? Even without doing programming. This is how you count. Okay, now you have to translate this idea from your mind into an algorithm and then into a program. Okay, it's like this that we saw. Now we solve the first problem, that is finding the number of students. And the second problem is writing the different students into a string. Yes, how we can do it? Okay, so we're going to read line by line. Now the problem is that we don't know how many students we have. صح ولا لا? We don't know how many students we have.
So we loop has this.
Yeah, we have a loop here. So we need to make an if statement. We need to make an if statement. So first of all, where to store the values? We can make something very simple. There are different ways. We can make with arrays, we can make with a string concatenation. It depends on how you want to solve. مثلا شفت الحل بتاع زميلكم, so your colleagues, when he read the line, when there is a first name, okay, he will try to find, so he considers that after removing the space we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters. So it's going to take the substring from here. That's a possible way. That is also possible. Okay, and he put it into an array list. That's possible. So I'm going to start with a simple solution. I'm going to make a string. I'm going to call it students equal, it's an empty one. So whenever I find any information, I'm going to add it to this string, and finally I will print the whole string. Okay, so if the line dot contains what? First name. Yeah, what to do? So we're going to do else if line contain last name. We have to do this. صح ولا لا؟ And here you have GPA, and here you have age. So what we do here? Imagine that you have this line. كيف؟ How to solve? Difficult? Subtract what? How?
Substring from the index of the closed
Line dot.
substring.
So substring we have two. في واحدة من begin index returns a string that is substring of this string. The substring begins with the character as specified index until the end. هل نحتاج until the end؟ احنا نحتاجه ما بين begin index و end index. نحتاجه substring ما بين التاج هذا والتاج هذا، صح ولا لا؟ نعم. So now the question is, what is this index and what is that index? Line dot index of اوكي، وليش ما يكونش هذا؟ ها؟ نعم. So it's true that we have two closing tags here. لكن index of it's going to take the first occurrence. Okay? So we know that and the index starts from 0. Why plus 1 here?
Because I don't want to include.
Okay, no problem. Let's see that we don't know. Okay? I will. And what is the second index?
Index of the tag. Yes, but make a second argument. Position. So he will start from here.
Okay. Dot starting from this index. Okay. That's possible way. You mean he will skip the first one? Or we can also have this tag -1. Okay. Okay, let's look what is the result. Let's say this is we make a variable that we call first name equal, and let me print the first name to see whether we get the correct first name. شفتوا الآن مع الفيرست name we have the closing tag. So we need to go one index more. So here we just need to put +1, and I'm able to get the first names. صح ولا لا? Okay? So the process will be the same now. The process will be the same. Instead of printing, I'm going to do what? Student Is it clear what I'm doing for all? Student equal students plus first name. And I can add a space here. What is the format that is requested?
Name, last name, age, and then today.
With comma? Comma after. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to do the same thing. It will be exactly the same thing. But instead here, I will put here last name. And here I will put last name. After last name, I have to put a comma. واضح? I have to put a comma. And then, what is the last one? GPA or age?
Age, then today.
Age. So, same thing here. String last name. Okay, so here it's age. It's going to be age here. And so here we have GPA and GPA. And after GPA, what I should do? I have to go to the next line. يعني خلاص, I completed the student itself. Okay, we want every line contains one student. So when it comes to the age, I know this is the last value I will read. So I will put it to the next line. Okay. Or what we can do? Okay. No, we can. لو فرضنا GPA كانت قبل. In this case, maybe. لو فرضنا ال GPA is stored before. يمكن تصير لنا مشكلة الآن. لو تكون بالطريقة هذه مثلا. Okay. So we should go to the next line whenever we find a closing tag. So what does it mean, a closing tag? It means we finish the student, so we go to the next one. Okay, so in this case, if I try like this with the slash n, look at the output. So at the end, I need to print sout students. You see, now I'm getting all the information, but the output is not correct, because the slash n is not in the right position. So the slash n here, else if line that contains a closing tag like this, in this case, we're going to do what to do? Student plus return to the line. So now if I execute again,
Just deleting the comma after age.
sorry,
Sometimes
it's not a problem. Is it clear, the solution? Yes?
The age and the GPA. Which one first?
Sorry?
The GPA is supposed to be before the age.
the age is supposed to be.
Change one.
It's not a problem. You can change the order. Anyway, now at least we print the output as it is requested. You can see now this is called parsing. We parse line by line. Okay. Okay, we can get more complicated things. Imagine that, for example, you have something like this. Is it going to solve? Maybe yes. Yeah, it's fine. No, look now, we don't find the last name. But it's not a problem. Now we assume that every record, we can do a more smarter parser. Just looking at the you know why? Because we made else. If we don't make the else, as every line might contain let me see if we can put this here. I'm not sure that it's going to work. No, because of the position. Now it considers the first name as the last name. Anyway, we can make it more intelligent, but it's we don't for now. We don't need for now. We just consider that we have every line contains a particular tag. Okay, so this was the simplest solution. But imagine that now we would like to store every line into an array. Every line of string inside an array. So how can we modify this? So first of all, when we are going to store inside an array, we have two options. Either a static array or dynamic array. What are you going to choose? Why? Because we don't know how many students are there. Okay? So, in this case, okay, let me know what to write. What to write here? Array list of what? So every cell, every element in the list is going to store a string that contains the information about the student. Okay? No, string here. Student list equal what? New array list of string. Okay. Mumtaz. So how to modify now?
Inside the loop, we have to add each line. The while loop.
No. When should we add the student to the array list? What is the condition? So first thing, I need to read in the string and concatenate to the string all these values, like we did now. So I will get a full string. When I should add this full string into the array list, what is the condition? Huh? Yes. When I arrive here, when I reach this, I know that I have taken all the information of the student. Okay? So I can add it to the list. Okay? So what is the condition here? If the line contains, so instead of making the /n, what I should do? Now, how to do? Student list dot add students. And now what I should do else? Clear student. Okay? So students equal to an empty string because I'm going to formulate a new student. صح ولا لا؟ At the end I can print student list at the end as an object, and then we run first student, second one, third and fourth. Okay, so you can see here we have created an array list, we have created a dynamic array. Let's add a new student, because we created a dynamic array because we don't know how many students are going to be stored. Now if I add another one, okay, and I execute again, I will have 5 students, and you can see that my array list is going to contain. Okay, so you can see in one example we have revised several things: array list, dynamic arrays, how to open a file, okay, and how to read information from the file. Is it clear now? But I tell you, if you didn't try this at home, my solution will not make any sense. If you haven't made any effort at home, it's going to be like I didn't do anything. It's because you didn't try. But those who have tried, now at least they understood what difficulties they had and how we can solve these difficulties. So anytime I give you an assignment, it's mandatory and very important that you do it, whatever it is, graded and not graded. If you want to succeed, you have to be responsible, and you are. Okay? Because I'm not going to grade everything. Only things that we will do in quizzes here. Any question?
Your solution is available on the website.
I'm going to upload the video today or tomorrow, and I will send an email when it is uploaded.
You add the code to the.
Yes, to GIT Hub. I'm going to add the code to the GIT Hub. Is it clear? Okay, that's all for today. And tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to start a new topic about object-oriented programming. Tomorrow we're going to start object-oriented programming.